Hey friends, Tom Wiley here. I have a word of encouragement for you today. A lot of us are jumping into things faster than we thought faster than we had planned to in the homesteading realm. So you can probably relate that the world events that have been happening these past several weeks have encouraged or have spurred us on to jump fully into, or more fully into, trying to produce our own food, trying to raise some animals, trying to take more control, more responsibility as much as possible for raising our food, for managing our supply systems and stuff like that. When you live out in the country, it's sort of a way of life anyway, and it's already part of the mindset of homesteading. But when things like global pandemics and supply chain interruptions happen, it does something to speed up that process in our minds. So a lot of us are, ourselves included, we have jumped into food production and animal raising and gardening and stuff like that a lot sooner than we had planned. We've been on this property a little over a year and a half almost, and we've just been fixing stuff pretty much. We have, a double wide mobile home that still needs help. It was pretty rough when we got it, but it's getting better, a lot better. It's livable, it's comfortable, but there's a lot of stuff that needs work. Same with the property. All the outbuildings are run down and needing work. So we've just been focusing on a lot of that stuff, and changes to the work I have been doing, and inheriting a seed company from a friend and spooling up for that, and we're now halfway through the busy season for that again. So there's just been a lot of life that has gone on, a lot of health things too, family things. So we've been kind of trying to pace ourselves and trying to be careful how much we bit off all at once. We have ended up making decisions to escalate those plans, to do stuff besides just fixing up the place and getting it kind of workable, usable. We're now going gung-ho in our garden for gardening. We got some rabbits. We're planning on getting chickens going as soon as possible. So a lot of that going on, but I just want to encourage you, even though you don't feel ready, try to be wise and discerning in how much you can take on at once, but don't be afraid to jump in. With the rabbits, we realized, we need some kind of meat production capability on our own homestead now. We need to start it now. So we immediately looked on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace that day. Started asking friends. One of our friends, thank you so much, Deb, ended up connecting us with a fellow who actually has supplied all of our rabbits so far, and it's working out great. But we weren't ready for it. I wasn't ready for it. We didn't have cages. We had one cage that I ran over with the plow truck this winter, so I had to fix that up to even have one usable cage. But where there's a will, there's a way. We got creative. I got desperate and realized, I could use a Tupperware tote, with a lid on it, with a mesh, wire lid on it. That's kind of a temporary cage, I guess. So we've made, I think it's been about 2 weeks since we've got the first rabbits, and we've made it so far, and things are going even better. Behind me is our new rabbit hutch, rabbitry. Let me show you what it looks like now. So this structure is now 10 feet wide by 13 feet long. And it just has a roof of metal patio roof that I got off Craigslist years ago. So, even though we had nothing as far as rabbits go, but this one cage that was all bent up, we had nothing along these lines 2 weeks ago. But look, now we've got a start of a rabbit production going. We have buck. We have doe that we think is about to give birth. I need to make a nest box really quick for her because I think she's due like Wednesday and this is Sunday, so just a few days, we'll see. And then we got 2 more does here. So they're about, what, 3 months away from being breeding age. So, and they're all doing good, happy and healthy. We still need to make waterers and get some feeders, but I made this cage out of some new material, mostly old recycled material. And this doesn't belong on here, it's just sitting on here. This was the lid I used. I think I got that from a house I was remodeling or something. And I used it as a lid on one of those totes for temporary housing for these rabbits. I used some chicken wire here for another lid. That plus just a pallet on top of it to keep it weighed down on the other tote. These things were getting kind of nasty in the bottom, so we just kept layering, just putting fresh litter in, some straw bedding in every morning and night to cover up the poop and pee and give them a nice clean environment. And it worked. We made it through, and you guys are doing great, aren't you? Hey, buddy. So I finally got this sealed up. I caulked the roof. It was full of screw holes. We just put building wrap around it, Tyvek type building wrap. That's all tacked around, so it's a nice dried in, but you know, still can breathe. We're not going to get wind blowing snow or rain in here or anything. I still want to suspend the cages and do all kinds of more stuff to this space, but it's working and it's started, and we have meat production started on our homestead in a matter of a couple weeks. So though we didn't at all feel prepared for it when we decided to just make the leap and get some rabbits, I'm really glad we did it. And we are now, you know, starting to produce our own meat. We don't have, you know, it's not in the freezer yet, but it's getting closer to getting there. So don't be too afraid of jumping in, and the fact that you, like for us, for me, for these rabbits, and I'm sure for chickens here pretty soon, the fact that I have a living, breathing animal that is depending on me to give it food and water and give it a clean place to live and enough space and to keep it sheltered, that can motivate me to restructure priorities enough and get creative enough to just make it happen and do what needs to be done to get that project off the ground and started right away. So I'm going to leave you with that. If you're on the fence trying to decide if you're ready for something or not, consider just jumping in and do your best to make it all happen. It's not as hard as you feel like it's going to be. Stuff can happen. You know, you can end up losing animals, you can end up losing money, whatever. In times like these though, we seem to have very little time to vacillate back and forth on should I not. We're kind of in a time where you need to make up your mind on what you need to do for your family and just start making stuff happen in that direction. So, love you guys, stay safe. If you like this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up and comment below on your thoughts. Share it with a friend if they need some encouragement to just dive in and start making stuff happen. As always, subscribe if you'd like to see more. I'll catch you later.